This is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. I'm your host Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. On my show, The Basketball Time Machine, I have a new series called 7 Ways How a Certain Player Would Kill Today's NBA. And that's exactly the section where I want to feature Dennis Rodman in. So in today's episode, we're going to take a look at 7 ways how Dennis Rodman would dominate today's NBA. But before we talk about that, let me give a quick shout out to the Patreons of this episode. Thanks a lot, you guys, for supporting the show. As always, it's really appreciated. And I would say, enough said, let's dive right into today's episode. Alright, so just like in the other videos, I divided this video into 7 sections, so 7 categories where I feel that Dennis Rodman would dominate. So let's start with number 1. So coming in at number 1 is probably also the most obvious one. It's rebounds. I said it in a recent video that Dennis Rodman to me is probably the best rebounder of all time. Despite the fact that players like Wilt Chamberlain average more rebounds per game, if we take into consideration that Rodman was only 6'7" and still had seasons where he averaged more than 18 rebounds per game, I mean, this is just crazy. Now in today's game, show me one single player that can average more than 18 rebounds per game. And especially on the offensive board, Rodman was a beast. The combination of perfect positioning, a feel for where the ball is, and technique was Dennis' specialty. He had more than 10 seasons where he averaged 11 plus rebounds per game. And another thing that I have to add is that Dennis Rodman also was the master of the outlet pass. He grabbed the rebound and made a pretty long pass to the other side of the court for an easy basket.
Go back to, he rebounded with a ferocity that just didn't make any sense.
Rodman pulls it down. On the floor, the hook stripped by Henderson. Off to Barkley. Charles Barkley with the drive against a triple T. Blocked.
Look at Rodman. Where did he come from?
Rodman blocked it out of bounds. Holy cow. How about that?
And coming in at number 2 are the hustle plays. Now, if you are a baller, you know that not every player is willing to hustle after every single loose ball, or even willing to sacrifice their body. The only other player but Dennis Rodman that was willingly throwing himself on the floor on a regular basis was Larry Bird. Dennis kept the ball alive even though it looked like he did not stand a chance. And we didn't talk about the energy that Dennis was giving his teammates with those plays. Just see it from this angle. If you have such a player on your team, it's basically like you have one extra player on your team.
One assistant coach in the league described him as a Jake LaMotta type player. Just a raging bull. Put his head down and charge to the basket. Kerr on the run. Rodman battling for the rebound, saving it in. And Kerr snatches it out of the air and drills it.
Now that's winning basketball. Those are the plays that Dennis Rodman does to make his team great.
And the next category that I want to talk about is defense. Now name your top 5 defenders of all time. And let me guess, Dennis Rodman is on your list. There are not many players that could do what Dennis did. Not only could he literally shut you down, but he could also guard position 1 to 5. Nowadays, people talk about LeBron James as a great defender. I'm really sorry to say, but Dennis Rodman had the body of LeBron James plus the attitude on defense. He was defending guys like John Stockton in one game and then Shaquille O'Neal in the next game. The defensive impact that he had was phenomenal. Even players like Shaquille O'Neal or Michael Jordan did admit in the past that Dennis Rodman was one of the toughest matchups that they ever had. Especially in his Detroit Pistons days, Rodman was at his peak defensively. That's why he also won the Defensive Player of the Year 2 times in a row. In an era where you had guys like Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Joe Dumars, just to name a few.
His ability to control the boards and play relentless defense has made him the best defensive player in the league. Here's what it's about.
Defense, defense, defense! You've got to get to work, everybody defensive. That's what I'm looking at. I got to have the defense.
When the call goes out for defense, Detroit's all-purpose stoppers primed for the challenge.
You need somebody to go in and do the dirty work, the defense, rebounding. Dennis fits that role.
Rodman over to help that block. The wing shot in and out long.
got to have special character and special attitude because it's nothing but hard work on that end.
You know, that's my job. I psych myself and say, hey, I have to do this to help this team. I like playing defense. I like doing things hard. I like to work.
The next category also has to be one of my favorite ones. I call it the unpredictability. Now with Dennis Rodman, you knew what you would get defensively and on the boards. But another thing that sometimes could be an advantage was that Dennis could do amazing things out of the blue. Many people forget that he was a potent scorer in his prime years with the Detroit Pistons. He had a solid mid-range shot, and of course he would get many tip-in opportunities. But when he realized that scoring was not what his team needed from him, still every now and then he would do something amazing on offense. For example, run a nice fast break and finish with a dunk, make a nice fadeaway jump shot, or every once in a while shoot a three-pointer. And in some games, even more than one.
With an offensive rebound. Under 2.5 to go in the first quarter, and Dennis Rodman hits the three. Well, that'll get the crowd going. Dennis Rodman, three-point basket. Tomorrow night on TNT, Game 5. Mutombo out to meet Rodman, who hit another one. That was a two-point basket.
Now we talked about toughness, but another thing that Dennis Rodman was the master in was the mental games. In case you did not know, Dennis Rodman was one of the smartest players you would ever see on the basketball court. All the antics, all the crazy talk, everything he did was planned. And he did that with all the superstars. If it was Scottie Pippen, Allen Iverson, Jerry Stackhouse, Shaquille O'Neal, Rodman just knew how to get under their skin. And this is exactly what he did in the 1996 NBA Finals between the Chicago Bulls and the Seattle Supersonics. All I have to say is Frank Burkowski.
Down to 4. Jordan. And Rodman and Burkowski get involved. It looks like Pavetta has given the ejection sign. Well, for Dennis, certainly a guy who enjoys the circus atmosphere that he has created.
And the next and last category is Dennis Rodman's ability to control the crowd. Again, Dennis had this unique talent to get everybody hyped. If it was the three-pointer, a nice hustle play, Dennis Rodman was always able to get the crowd right into the game.
Bulls would like to be able to rest all their stars in the fourth quarter. Rodman diving for the rebound. What an effort that was. Incredible effort by Rodman. Insane effort. Boy, that crowd going to give him a standing O. Say what you want about this guy, Jim, but how many guys would lay out like this for a rebound?
And watch where he goes. His hands go right to the camera when he hits the floor. Watch this.
Rodman, he hit a three against Atlanta back here in November, and that's just his third of the season.
Most people think he's 6'9", 260. And Dennis was maybe a half an inch taller than me at 6'6", 220. And he impacted the game a lot bigger.
There's Dennis again. He doesn't even have to score a basket to turn a game around with his rebounding ability.
You got to throw him in the category of some of the greats like Bill Russell.
Rebound Rodman, he's unbelievable at that. Best in the league.
Like a Wilt Chamberlain.
Rodman's tap is rebound number 34.
Because he used to dominate the game just on rebounds alone.
Oh, the dandy rebound from Dennis Rodman.
Whenever we went on the floor and we were in deep championship playoff series, this guy would be in his own world about winning. You just saw it dripping off of him. You just saw on his face the passion he had for the game.
He definitely was a piece that we were needing at that time. Someone that could come in and bring some toughness, a good defender as well as a great rebounder. He brought all those tools to our team.
Rodman with the offensive rebound, and that ties an NBA Finals record.
You know, it's kind of interesting to imagine how good would Dennis Rodman do in today's game. I personally think he would be even better. I mean, rebound-wise, it's not even a comparison. There's no player on this planet who could get as many rebounds as Dennis Rodman. Defensively, for me, it's the same case. But the real question is, would the NBA allow Dennis Rodman to be Dennis Rodman? I don't think so. Anyway, that was it for today's episode, you guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope I see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine. You all stay healthy, take care, and goodbye.